Good morning, YouTubers. It is a brisk and early Sunday morning here in South Central Montana. We're getting this eyelet board wired up, and before I went too much further, I wanted to make sure that I got a good close-up shot of this because I don't believe that I did in the previous videos, so everybody can see kind of just how well and simply laid out this board is for anybody who's a novice like me who's thinking about doing one of these builds. I really equate it to this is the equivalent of paint by numbers for people who like to solder. So, as you can see, if the camera will get focused up, all of the specific components are listed right on the board. Their values, polarities, they're all listed right there. Diodes, there's the directionality of the diodes to make sure all the electrons are flowing in the proper directions. Polarity for the capacitors. This corresponds directly with the parts list, so if there's a question about a specific value, which one is the right one for that position, you just take the C10 or R13 labeling and refer directly to the parts list, and it'll tell you specifically, oh, that's the 1.5 resistor, and there's only one of them, so you're not going to grab the bag with 6 in it. So this is coming along really nicely. At this point, I've only got about a day and a half total in this, aside from the painting of the chassis. It's looking good. I feel real good about it. It's been really easy and a lot of fun so far to get this to the point where it is. I think in about 5 or 6 more hours it'll actually be ready. It would be ready to be fired up if it weren't for the fact that the 47 microfarad 450 volt capacitor was overlooked in the kit and KLD sent it out. Now, I did get in touch with KLD. They did respond back to me, which there were some shipping questions initially after the purchase, and they got back to me pretty quick, considering time differences and whatnot between the United States and Asia. They're going to send me out a capacitor. They did address both my shielded wire question and my questioning about the chassis layout. The shielded wiring is not included in the kit according to them. They're going to go ahead and send me out 1.5 meters of shielded cable. I don't need it per se at this point, but if it's any indication of what KLD is willing to do in that regard, they say it's not included, but they're going to go ahead and send it to me anyway. So I appreciate that. That is some decent level customer service, if I say so myself. Their answer to the question about the standoff holes for the PCB lining up properly was, there are a lot of holes, find the right ones that work, which in this case, that's not a thing. They're not going to line up, and that is not the fault of the guys who manufactured the chassis. That is, their spec is not exactly right between this PCB and the layout that they give the guys for this chassis. So that is what it is. It's fine. So, kudos to KLD. They are stepping up. I feel like that's the appropriate response, and they're giving it. So we definitely got to give them a shout out of joy and appreciation for the willingness to make things right. In any case, we're going to get back to this. Populate this board as far as we can take it. And I think at that point what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and install it in the chassis and begin the wiring of the more major components. Hopefully the capacitor arrives in a timely manner. It's taken a long time in some cases to get things from China due to COVID. This kit actually, once shipped, it took them about 12 days to even process it for shipping. But once it did finally ship, it only took a few days to get from China to my door. So, depending on what avenue they go down for shipping, they can definitely get this stuff to you fast. But we'll see. So we're going to finish populating the board, get it installed into the chassis, get some more of the major components wired up. We'll shoot another video to kind of see how everything is fitting in there and fitting together. I'll get you guys more specifics on the maker of the chassis. Hopefully, if I have to put it down in a link, I can just put it down in a link, and you guys can link right to that. I think that's what I'd like to do at some point, is put the link for this kit and KLD, and for the manufacturer of the chassis, so anybody that's interested in this can just go right to it. So, thanks, guys.